There's a hidden energy field around your body, an ancient system called the MerKaBa. When activated, it connects you to higher dimensions, expands your consciousness, and unlocks your light body. But most people either activate it the wrong way or not at all. That's because popular techniques often miss the one thing that truly brings it to life. The MerKaBa isn't just a shape or a breathing pattern. It's a living structure of light, thought, and emotion. If the right conditions aren't met, it stays dormant or unstable. In this video, you'll discover exactly how to activate it safely and fully by aligning geometry with heart, intention with truth, and breath with presence. Whether you're just beginning or seeking to go deeper, this is what you were never told. The MerKaBa is more than just an ancient word. It describes a precise living energy field that already exists around your body. It's often visualized as two interlocking pyramids of light, one pointing upward, the other downward, spinning in opposite directions. This geometric formation, also known as the star tetrahedron, is not random or symbolic. It's a direct reflection of the light body's natural architecture. But what gives it power is not just the shape, it's the consciousness behind it. The MerKaBa is the energetic structure that allows spirit, mind, and body to work as one. When awakened correctly, it becomes your personal vehicle of ascension, linking your physical presence to higher dimensions and granting access to expanded states of awareness. At its core, the MerKaBa is about alignment, not mechanical alignment, but energetic coherence. It reflects the state of your inner world. When your emotions, thoughts, and intentions are in harmony, the field becomes ordered, structured, and active. If there's confusion, emotional residue, or fragmented energy, the geometry remains unstable or dormant. That's why understanding the MerKaBa isn't about memorizing lines or visualizations. It's about learning to live in a way that naturally supports its activation. The star tetrahedron is just one layer of the full MerKaBa system. Within and around it, other complex structures are involved, some fixed, others dynamic. These include spheres, spirals, and toroidal fields, all interacting with your nervous system, your breath, and your consciousness. But none of them operate in isolation. The MerKaBa is a system. It responds to your entire being, your frequency, your emotional clarity, your groundedness, and your ability to stay present. This is why traditional spiritual systems often emphasize purification, humility, and heart-centered awareness before introducing energy techniques. Without internal alignment, the MerKaBa remains theoretical. Ancient civilizations knew this. In Egypt, it was guarded knowledge, passed only to initiates who had gone through deep preparation. In Atlantis and other pre-fall societies, it was part of daily spiritual life. It allowed individuals to connect with star systems, access divine memory, and live in constant communion with higher consciousness. Over time, this knowledge was lost, hidden, or fragmented. Some modern teachings have revived pieces of it, like the 17 breath technique made popular in recent decades. But even those systems often ignore the most important element, the heart. The MerKaBa is not activated by geometry alone. It is powered by emotion, intention, and the willingness to live from truth. It's not something you force, it's something you align with. You can't fake coherence. You can't bypass your inner work and expect a stable field. The MerKaBa reveals who you are in this moment, not who you wish to be. And that's where its true power lies. Because once it's activated from a place of integrity, it becomes more than a field. It becomes a gateway. The MerKaBa is often misunderstood as something you can simply turn on with breathwork or mental focus. But if that were enough, far more people would be walking around fully activated, grounded, and aware. The truth is, most attempts to awaken the MerKaBa either produce limited effects or fade out quickly. That's not because the person lacks ability. It's because the foundation isn't ready. One of the biggest reasons activations fail is emotional dissonance. When you carry unresolved grief, anger, fear, or shame, those energies disrupt the coherence needed for the MerKaBa to stabilize. You may go through the motions of a technique, but underneath, the field remains fractured. The light body doesn't respond to superficial control. It reflects your real state, moment by moment. And if that state is chaotic or imbalanced, the MerKaBa will either remain dormant or spin unevenly, creating more distortion than clarity. Another common issue is over-intellectualization. Many seekers try to master the geometry mentally, thinking that precision alone will trigger the system. But the MerKaBa isn't a mechanical tool. It's a consciousness-based field. Knowing the structure is helpful, but without the right emotional frequency, it's like having the blueprint for a temple and no materials to build it. The energy that gives form to the geometry must come from within, from the harmony between mind, body, and spirit. There's also a tendency to rush the process. People want immediate results, so they stack on breath sequences or visualizations without cultivating the depth that sustains real change. But the MerKaBa doesn't respond to speed. It responds to sincerity. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is slow down, feel deeply, breathe gently, and listen to what's asking to be healed within you. That internal quiet is where activation begins. Some even approach MerKaBa work from a place of ego. They seek power, spiritual recognition, or escape. But the MerKaBa amplifies your intention. If that intention is rooted in fear, pride, or avoidance, what gets magnified is not light, it's shadow. This can lead to disconnection, energetic instability, or even spiritual burnout. True activation comes from humility. It's not about rising above others. It's about becoming aligned with truth. Finally, many overlook the importance of grounding. A stable MerKaBa is not only linked to higher realms, it's also deeply anchored in the body and the earth. Without that anchor, activation can feel floaty, disorienting, or incomplete. Grounding provides the balance that allows the energy to circulate through your system without overload. Think of it as building a bridge between dimensions, not just a ladder to escape your life, but a channel to bring more presence and light into it. Understanding why most activations fail isn't meant to discourage, it's meant to clarify. When you know what's missing, you can begin to prepare differently. You can stop forcing and start aligning. And that shift makes all the difference. Even with the right technique, the MerKaBa will not activate fully without one essential ingredient: the heart. Not as an abstract concept, but as a real energetic center that shapes the quality and coherence of your entire field. This is the part most teachings either gloss over or completely miss. They teach geometry, they teach breath, but they often forget that the true ignition point is emotional frequency, and that frequency originates in the heart. The heart is not just an organ, it's an electromagnetic generator. In fact, it produces a field much stronger than the brain's. This field carries information about your emotional state, your truth, and your level of coherence. When it's open, balanced, and engaged, it becomes the stabilizing force that allows the MerKaBa to form and remain active. Without this foundation, the field may spin, but it will lack integrity. It will feel mechanical, ungrounded, or even energetically cold. You may sense movement, but not presence. Geometry without love has no life. This is why people can follow every step of a protocol and still feel nothing. The body performs the motions, but the energy is flat. The field doesn't respond because it's waiting for emotional alignment. It's waiting for sincerity, for softness, for the kind of inner honesty that can't be faked. The MerKaBa activates when you meet yourself deeply, when the breath, the body, and the heart are all moving in the same direction. Opening the heart isn't about becoming sentimental or overly emotional. It's about becoming energetically available. It's about releasing protective layers built through past pain, trauma, or disconnection. These layers might have once kept you safe, but they also mute your signal. They dull the frequency that would otherwise pulse through the MerKaBa and hold it in place. To restore that frequency, the inner work becomes essential. Forgiveness, self-compassion, gratitude, presence. These aren't just emotional practices. They are energetic technologies. Each one calibrates the field, making it more stable, more vibrant, and more responsive. When the heart is coherent, the geometry naturally aligns. When it's closed, even perfect technique collapses under the weight of inner resistance. Maureen Germain emphasizes this often. The MerKaBa must be activated from the heart, not from the intellect, not from spiritual ambition, from the place in you that is whole, loving, and true. And this doesn't mean you need to be perfect. It means you need to be present. When you breathe with awareness, hold the geometry with love, and let your emotional field stay open. You're no longer performing a technique. You're becoming the field itself. The heart is what makes the MerKaBa a living structure. It transforms a system of lines and points into something radiant, intelligent, and alive. Without it, the energy remains unstable or fragmented. With it, the field becomes complete. Now that you understand the real nature of the MerKaBa and the importance of emotional and energetic readiness, let's move into the process of activation. This isn't just about following steps. It's about approaching the entire practice with presence, care, and alignment. When done properly, activating the MerKaBa becomes a profound shift in your entire energetic structure. But this only happens when each layer, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, is prepared and working in harmony. Step 1 is emotional preparation. Before you even begin, take time to clear your field. This might involve meditation, journaling, breath work, or any practice that helps you release tension, regret, or unresolved emotion. Don't rush this part. The MerKaBa requires emotional spaciousness. You're not trying to be perfect. You're simply aiming for honesty. If something is heavy in your field, acknowledge it, feel it, let it move. Emotional density interrupts the field. Emotional clarity opens it. Step 2 is grounding. Sit or lie in a comfortable position with your spine aligned. Feel your connection to the earth, not just as a surface beneath you, but as a living, supportive presence. Imagine a root extending from your tailbone into the center of the planet. Let that connection grow stable and strong. A grounded body provides the stillness and stability needed for the geometry to emerge and hold. Without grounding, the activation remains top-heavy and unstable. Step 3 is breath. Begin with slow, rhythmic breathing. Inhale through the nose, allowing the breath to rise from the belly up to the heart. Exhale gently through the mouth or nose, keeping the breath smooth and even. Do not force or control the breath. Let it become a natural rhythm, guiding you deeper into presence. This phase builds coherence between your body and your energy field. Step 4 is visualization. Once you're centered and grounded, bring your awareness to the star tetrahedron, the two interlocked pyramids of light surrounding your body. See the upward-facing tetrahedron extending from your base to above your head. See the downward-facing tetrahedron extending from your shoulders down to your feet. As you breathe, imagine these pyramids beginning to rotate. The top spins counterclockwise, the bottom spins clockwise. Start slowly, with intention. You're not spinning them with force. You're allowing the movement to emerge through alignment. Step 5 is activation through the heart. Now bring your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a radiant sphere of light expanding from this point, enveloping your chest, then your whole body. Let this light fill the tetrahedrons, unifying them into one coherent field. This step is not mental, it's felt. Stay with it until the sensation becomes stable, like the field is pulsing with intelligence, not just imagery. Step 6 is intention. Silently or out loud, set a clear, heart-centered intention. It could be as simple as, I align with my highest self. I activate my light body in love, balance, and truth. Let this intention anchor the energy. Words carry frequency. When spoken from the heart, they become structural. They shape the field. Step 7 is stillness. Once the field is spinning, coherent, and filled with light, remain still. Let it settle. Listen. Sense. You don't need to do anything more. Just be inside the field and allow it to teach you. You may feel warmth, tingling, expansion, or deep calm. Whatever arises, meet it with presence. This process doesn't need to be dramatic. In fact, the most powerful activations often feel simple, quiet, yet unmistakably real. Over time, the more you align with this field, the more it becomes part of your natural state. You're not just turning something on, you're remembering who you are. When the MerKaBa is fully and correctly activated, something profound begins to shift, not only in your energy, but in the way you perceive yourself, your life, and reality itself. This isn't just a meditation result, it's an inner reconfiguration. You've brought geometry, emotion, and intention into harmony, and now your light body becomes a living interface between the physical and the non-physical. One of the first things you may notice is heightened perception. This can manifest as intuitive insight, greater emotional sensitivity, or moments of expanded awareness. Time may begin to feel more fluid. You might receive inner guidance with greater clarity, or sense subtle energies in ways you couldn't before. These aren't hallucinations. They're signals that your consciousness is interacting with more of the spectrum that was always there, but previously hidden. You may also feel a stronger connection to your higher self. This can show up as an inner calm, a growing sense of purpose, or the ability to make decisions without overthinking. You're not being guided by fear or external pressure. You're following something quieter, but deeper, an internal compass that knows exactly where you're meant to go. When the MerKaBa is active, it strengthens this connection, making it easier to stay aligned with truth, even in chaotic environments. Another change is in your energetic boundaries. The MerKaBa acts as a natural protection field. It doesn't wall you off from others, but it filters distortion. It reduces energetic interference. This means you're less affected by the emotions or projections of people around you. You become more sovereign, not cold, but clear. And that clarity gives you space to grow, to create, and to choose how you respond to life. Dreams may intensify. Synchronicities increase. Your body may begin to release old patterns or memories. Sometimes these effects happen quickly. Other times they unfold gradually, allowing your nervous system and emotional body to adapt. The key is not to chase phenomena, but to remain grounded. The MerKaBa doesn't exist to impress your mind. It exists to evolve your being. You may also experience moments of emotional release. The light body doesn't suppress what's unhealed. It reveals it. If grief, anger, or fear rise after activation, don't panic. This isn't regression. It's refinement. The MerKaBa brings buried energies to the surface so they can be witnessed, felt, and let go. This process creates more space for light to circulate through your field. And then there's contact. Some people report spontaneous communication with guides, higher dimensional beings, or aspects of their soul they hadn't accessed before. These connections don't need to be dramatic. Sometimes they appear as a voice, a vision, or a sudden knowing. Other times it's simply a feeling of being deeply accompanied, like something ancient and loving is walking with you. The MerKaBa is a bridge. When activated, it aligns you with realms that resonate with your current frequency. Still, none of this is about escaping life. It's about embodying more of who you are while still being fully present in the world. Your relationships may change. Your choices may evolve. The more you stabilize your light body, the more your outer life begins to reflect your inner clarity. You're not just meditating anymore. You're becoming a new version of yourself, one that is more awake, more open, and more whole. The MerKaBa isn't something outside of you. It's who you are when your mind is clear, your heart is open, and your energy is aligned. It's the bridge between your human experience and your infinite nature. Activating it isn't the end of a journey. It's the beginning of living with deeper awareness, grounded presence, and higher purpose. And while the process may be subtle, its effects are real. The more you return to this field with sincerity, the more it becomes your natural state. If this teaching opened something inside you, let us know in the comments. Share what you felt, what you're working through, or what resonated most. And if you're ready to keep walking this path, subscribe and stay connected. This is just the beginning, and you don't have to walk it alone.